All right, how's it going, everybody? It is the Awesemo.com NHL DFS Strategy Show. We have just one game for today, but we will talk about the trade deadline. Quite a bit of news rolling in, so I'm sure you guys will be telling me about your favorite trades, and we could review, maybe speculate on who's going to fill in where as far as line combos. We've got a big slate tomorrow, so maybe we could look ahead for that. I think it's 13 games. We're going to do a big review. I have a live blog up as well, going through all of the trades. So exciting stuff. I mean, the contests aren't great across the sites, but it is an NBA day for a lot of people, so it's understood. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to DM me. Obviously, you might think of stuff after the show. I'll try to help out. You guys, 99% of you ask very nicely, and so I'm happy to help out however I can. But we do have, like I said, lineup review. Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports is the sponsor at always. It is Yahoo is one of the most trusted names in fantasy sports, not just daily fantasy. They do have daily fantasy contests, and if you guys do want to go over there, use some of the tools on the site. Use promo code Awesemo to get up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points when you do sign up on your initial deposit. I'm scrolling through the lobby a little bit, and as you guys can see on the screen, another reason to try out PGA this week. $3 5 max, $15 max entry for this tournament. No management fee. Can't really beat that in the industry these days, so take advantage of that if you are looking to play some PGA. It's a good reason to try it, right? They do have soccer. They will have NHL opened up for tomorrow as well. They don't do single game contests just yet. Who knows? Maybe in the future they'll offer them. I'm not exactly sure what the plan is there, but if you like playing with less sharks, lower management fees, Yahoo is a great place to get started and a great place to get more volume down if you're looking to become a more profitable player. I've got my phone here just in case we see any last second trades. I'm sure you guys will update as well. The few of you that are tuning in here, thank you as always. Bunch of loyal viewers. So we're thankful for that. All right, I think most of the trades should be done by tomorrow. But all right, let's get Yahoo off the screen for now. Super draft projections, if you are playing NBA DFS today, these are going to be free on the site Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We also, trying to see what else we have. I'm not exactly sure what our other free content is today, but I can check on that in a little bit. What do you think of Demko starting for a few weeks with Markstrom out? So it's always hard to tell for goalie. I'm not a big, for DFS, I'm not a big believer in goalie skill. Like, I don't think it matters that much game to game. Over time, yeah, you've seen guys like Leonard, speaking of trade, like guys that have been traded, Leonard going to Vegas. That is very interesting. I wonder who's Vegas going to go with. I don't know. I don't know who they're going to go with. So here's what we got. We'll give this a refresh here. This is just the TSN live blog here. Markstrom obviously out. We have some smaller trades. How are we tackling the largest slate of the year? It's too bad that they couldn't come out with closer to normal size contests, like even a big $10 or a big $5 or something. I think people would play Showdown NHL. It's a correlation sport. I think a missed opportunity on both sides, both sites that run the single game contest, Draftkings and FanDuel. So not unusual. Once we get into the Stanley Cup playoffs, we'll probably have some bigger showdowns. So there is that. I do like that DraftKings did end up adding the captain spot. I think that makes for a really interesting wrinkle. I don't think Showdown's that difficult to play, and it's really fun to MME for all sports. I had a ton of fun doing NFL. I'm sure I'll get more and more into Showdown as we go through the season and the slates get smaller and smaller in the playoffs, like I said. But they're not really giving people incentive to play with the size of the contests. Even normal NHL players, I know a bunch of people that are just taking the day off. It's fun if you win, but you're not going to win every night. Okay, so we thought Parise was dealt. He is not dealt. He remains on the Wild. Maybe Montreal's got a couple trades rolling in. Subban going to the Blackhawks. It's going to be Leonard going to the Golden Knights. Yeah, 2 number 1 goalies. Crazy stuff. Leonard's been crazy good the last year and a half. Barclay Goodrow lands a first-round pick. I know it's Tampa, so I would guess that it's not going to be like a high first-round pick, right? But like, what is going on? They're just handing out the first-round picks, so I don't know. It doesn't feel like a super necessary addition, but I don't know. Carolina 2 line on daily faceoff looks interesting for DFS. Nino, Trocheck, Nichus. Yeah, that looks really good. So we'll get to Trocheck in a while. We're kind of going in reverse order. Muzzin re-signed. Brady Shea going to Carolina for a first round pick. What else do we got here? Thornton staying put. By the way, Barclay Goodrow was centering the number 1 line for San Jose. He was centering LeBanc and Evander Kane the last couple of games. So, I mean, if you thought that Sharks roster was bad before, like, arguably their best center just got dealt. So, obviously a team we're going to want to attack, and Vegas will have that reflected. Sharks are a mess. Yeah, Vatanen also going to the Hurricanes, trying to load up on their defenseman, Bachelor Hulos. Boom. I don't know. I mean, this whole Madison thing, we'll see how this plays out tonight. But I don't know. I don't think Peter's going to do anything with them, with any of the girls. So we'll make for an interesting night. Let's see. What? Oh, Tyson Barrie stays put. Rodriguez to Pittsburgh, and Sheary returning to Pittsburgh. We saw that last year. So, I guess Rodriguez or Sheary would be useful for DFS if they were going to play with Crosby or Malkin. I don't think that's going to happen for now. Ennis going to Edmonton. We have JGP getting a 6-year extension with the Islanders. So Ottawa loading up. They got a ton of picks over the next couple of years. So there you go. Athanasiou from Detroit to Edmonton. Hopefully we get to see him playing on a line with McDavid. And then I think they're going to keep, and Cliffy, I saw Cliffy talking on Twitter also, that they're going to keep the Draisaitl, Yamamoto, and Nugent Hopkins line together. Finally got some real wingers for McDavid. Some people like the Ennis pickup. I'm not sure. I mean, again, I don't know a ton about actual hockey. I just know what I like to see for DFS. McDavid with Athanasiou on the same line looks pretty fun. Probably not going to be good defensively, but if you can just get the puck and go, and maybe Ennis slots in there, I'm not exactly sure. Then Cassian, that could be something for Edmonton. So I don't even know where they're at in the standings. I think they're really close with a bunch of other teams, right? So that's in the Pacific. There's Yeah, 5 teams separated by 5 points. And then you got the Sharks, Ducks, and Kings. All right, so let's keep going here. Thornton again, nothing. Yeah, so again, thought Parise was going to the Islanders. He is not, at least not yet. Maybe they'll try to trade for him. Wayne Simmons to Buffalo. That doesn't really do much for me. Sure. There was a car accident with Shesterkin and Buchnevich. Buchnevich is fine. Shesterkin fractured rib. That's not good for the Rangers. And then Marlowe to Pitt. Kreider, contract extension. We thought maybe he was going to get dealt. He is not. Morgan Riley may be returning very soon for the Leafs. And then what do we got here? Oh, Kovalchuk was dealt last night. And I think that is pretty much, well, we didn't even mention Trocheck. Yeah, Trocheck was kind of the first domino to fall earlier this morning. I didn't even know he was on the block, to be honest. It's not like I'm super plugged in or anything. But Trocheck was like the first one that made me raise my eyebrows a little bit. Patterson was getting a lot of calls. That's okay. Buffalo trading away picks for rentals, just 0 cents there. Yeah, not sure what Buffalo's doing. Really, ever. Okay. I think we are good. Oh, did you guys see this as well? Gerard Gallant ranked Vegas as a top 5 Stanley Cup favorite. So, even, not showing his bias. I mean, DeBoer, Jesus. At least he's keeping the lines together for the most part. Like, at least he knows what he's got. Or you would think he knows what he's got in his lines right now. Vegas scored another 6 last night. They're pretty good. Now they got Leonard. I don't know. They don't not too many weak spots there. They picked up Alec Martinez. Oh yeah, the Mike Green thing. Let's find that one. Mike Green. Where are we at here? Okay. Captain picks for the Ottawa Columbus game. Yeah, we can talk about that in just a minute. Let's talk about what happened this weekend. We had last night. There was an $8. God, they just don't make these contests big at all on Sundays, which stinks. Was a good night for me. Fraggle Stick Car, we'll go with. Took it down. Had Henrique Ritchie, Troy Terry, Carlson, Stone, Pacioretty. Game stack here. Michael Stone, Shea Theodore. Just an explosion for this game. If you didn't have both sides of that, you probably weren't winning anything. David Rittich, Stone, and Theodore, huge here. I had a similar lineup. Congrats to that user. I had a similar lineup. It was, instead of Michael Stone and Riddick, I had Walker 1.5. So bad. And then Binnington. So goalie did the trick. Needed an assist or something out of Walker to end up getting there. But good night nonetheless. I didn't stay up to watch the end of the game. I didn't think I had anything good, and woke up with something pretty good. So that was nice after the last couple nights that did not go too well. Oh, there was also an afternoon slate. $10. Captain Spaulding took it down with Pavelski, Radulov, Barzal, Everly, Lee, full Islanders 1. That line's been coming on quite a bit lately. And then the Oposo one-off. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where the Oposo one-off comes from, but maybe I just didn't see it. And probably just needed a $3,100 winger, right? I'm assuming this was built with an optimizer. I think Captain Spaulding uses an optimizer. good lineup and then nutted on the one-off. So that usually helps. First place in that tournament. Let's look at Saturday. We usually don't look at Sunday, but do we not have the All right, looks like we disconnected there for just a second. Let's see if we pop back up here. I have 0 drop frames, so I think we're back. I'm not sure what happened, but this is going to be a short stream anyway, so we'll get to it. Let me check out FanDuel really quick. Yeah, we're back up. We're good. I don't know what is going on here. Must be a YouTube thing. I don't think my Ethernet got unplugged, but whatever. Let's talk about the game because there's only one of them. Let me pull up the lineup builder. Oh, wait, we don't have the lineup builder loaded, do we? That's all right. Let's pull up Fantasy Cruncher, actually. We'll just go team by team here. So here's what we got. Columbus and Ottawa. Columbus, the home team, and they're going to be super popular. We don't have ownership projections. Not really sure you need them that much in a one-game slate. Basically, everyone knows who the best plays are here. And I guess the most interesting thing would just be to talk about strategy and how you want to lay out your lineup. So I think path of least resistance, the play would be to take multiple Ottawa skaters. They obviously don't have Pajot, but they do have guys that are viable. Guys like Tkachuk. You look at their centers; they're not very great anymore without Pajot. However, they still have guys like Tkachuk, still guys that you can use in the captain spot. So what I'm probably going to do for tonight is it's 70 max in the $100 or the $10. Bobby Ryan's back. Yep, Bobby Ryan's back. Some of our top values on the slate. Bobby Ryan actually is our top value on the slate. So there you go. It's a pretty good one, huh? He's 2K on DraftKings. And I think he's probably captain viable with the top power play designation here. Certainly better than Jace H or any of these defensemen. What I would do if I was making a few lineups too is figure out who you're going to run at captain. And it's probably going to be a Columbus player for most people. But I still think you can use Tkachuk as captain. I still think you can use Duclair. You can definitely use Duclair. He's a guy who can get multiple points in bad spots. He can generate his own offense. And that's what you're looking for. Like I said, Bobby Ryan. The list is definitely shorter for me for captains on the Ottawa side. If you use our projections, you're going to get just a ton of Columbus. And I think you probably should. So if you stack here, so I've got a stack loaded in here, just a 3-player stack. I'll crunch out 70 lines. You don't have randomness. I think you should be using a good amount of randomness. So you should be differentiating. Otherwise, you're going to end up with this, which is basically just all in on Foligno, Dubois, and Nyquist. If you 3-man stack. If you don't 3-man stack, like if you don't have any rules in here, you've got nothing. It's going to be something similar. You're going to get a ton of 4-2s and 5-1s. It's specifically 4-2s. So it's difficult. It's difficult on these slates to differentiate, but I still think you should be playing the good plays. Like you should, if you're multi-entering, you should have a bunch of Werenski and Kachuk and guys like that. I think something for NFL that's useful also is just building to different game scripts. It's a little bit more difficult in hockey, but if you wanted to do a 5-man Ottawa stack, you're automatically going to be different. Or if you wanted to do like either a 5-2 or a 4-1, you could do that and say limit 2 players for Columbus. Maybe run your first 20 lineups like this. So now you're getting heavy Ottawa. You're going to just end up not using as much salary. That's another way to differentiate. And usually a pretty good one, especially like it's not NBA. So points per minute doesn't matter that much. And leaving 900 on the table, leaving 1,600 on the table, I think is all fine, especially if you can figure out a way to do that while playing Columbus. So mostly all my lineups will have at least one member of the Columbus top line. Gonna have a bunch of Kachuk. We'll be punting with Bobby Ryan, and then another thing is just make sure if you're using Fantasy Cruncher, if you want to use goalies. If you want to use goalies, you're probably going to want to have this somewhere in here. Max 2 to 4 players. So if you do 2, then you're going to have even more exposure to the good guys. But, we talk about building out more lineups than you need. Might be a good idea for Showdown. And what I mean by that is if you build out 100 lineups and you're trimming it down to 70, here, let's go to 5. You can eliminate some that you're going to anticipate are going to be duped a bunch of times. So like you get no Craig Anderson or no Hogberg. If you just use our projections, I would suggest you make some of your lineups if you are making multiple with Hogberg in there, because if he doesn't allow 4 or 5 goals here, he's got a pretty good chance of being on the winning lineup despite him projecting low. Those are median projections. If he has a 75th percentile outcome here, he could easily be on the winning lineup. If Ottawa gets shut out 2-0 and he has 35 saves, it could be 5 players for Columbus and then the goalie on the other side that ends up winning it. We've seen that type of thing happen. I think if you are building a ton of lineups, we don't have ownership projections, but you should know pretty much who's going to be popular. Maybe you want to look at the lineups with 50K and see if it makes sense to cut out some of these lineups that are around 50K. Maybe not the ones that have 49K or 48K, but like this one, Merzlikins, Foligno, Dubois, Ryan, one of the best values on the slate for everyone. Kachuk, one of the top plays. Like I think this has got to be a pretty good chance of being duped. So I might X that one out. For example, Merzlikins in captain spot is going to be popular just because the win equity is so high. I think I'm going to end up much lower on Merzlikins in the captain spot. If he's going to be 20% in that, like I got 61%. I don't think that's necessarily correct. So what you could do for your captains as well is maybe limit them to 25%. Run this again. And make sure you're getting a good spread of captains. Like in general, I want them to still be the top guys. Oh wait, I have to. FC doesn't recognize Merzlikins, or the goalies. They have issues with the goalies. So how do I get them to not be captains? Anyways, maybe I just have to refresh this, but there's a ton of different ways to build in Showdown. So, if Vegas is off here, if Ottawa ends up winning this game, you're going to have a much easier chance of banking if you go heavy on Ottawa. So I'm going to end up having a lot of Kachuk, a lot of Bobby Ryan, a lot of Duclair, like I said. I'll force in Ottawa 2-mans and 3-mans in a lot of my lineups. And I'm probably going to be pretty low on where we have the goalie here because I think Merzlikins is a good play, but as a captain, I'm just hoping someone has a multi-point performance for cheaper. Hopefully it's someone on Ottawa, honestly. And you could be getting a huge edge on the field if things actually do go your way. So maybe put Merzlikins at 25% as well. Let's run this again. Oh, man. Oh, they're having issues with the captain for the goalie. So we'll get that figured out. And if you guys got any more questions, feel free to drop them in. Showdown's fun, but I think it lends itself more to either a single lineup or just building a ton of different scenarios. Maybe not a ton of different scenarios, but like 3 to 4 different scenarios. You've got the Sens winning a close game. You've got the Sens winning 2-3-0 or 3-1 or something like that. And then, on the Ottawa side, could be a 2-1 game, could be a 4-5-0 game. Who knows with Ottawa. But building out lineups, chunks of lineups for those different scenarios, I think is the most important thing when you're talking about Showdown NHL. If you are MMEing, if you're not, I would look to mostly rely on projections. If you're playing just one lineup, I would have a hard time leaving off Dubois and like these top 6 skaters, at least a couple of those guys. But maybe you pop in Hogberg and go with Tkachuk at captain or something like that. We have Tkachuk rated out pretty favorably. He's one of my favorite captains. He's probably going to have to score a goal to be worth to be the nut captain. But I do like Tkachuk a ton. All right, are there more trades rolling through here? Gustafsson is official. He's going to Calgary. I wonder if he's going to be on top power play. Josh Norris, captain? Is that the play? I don't think that's the play. But what do I know? All right. Any more tweets before we get on out of here? I'm thinking about playing some NBA tonight as well. I don't know. The contests are just so big for NBA that it's hard for me to just ignore them. We've got basically nothing for NHL tonight. Tomorrow, hoping for some pretty big contests, honestly. It's Tuesday. Would like to see more than 10K to first in their $10. I know that's asking a lot, and that probably won't happen. But it does look like it's going to be a really, really jam-packed slate. You've got Blackhawks fire sale going into St. Louis, playing against the Blues, who are playing really well. Ottawa going to be on a back-to-back. You've got new Oilers lines, new toys at the CU, hopefully with McDavid. We'll see tomorrow. There's going to be a bunch of late news stuff to talk about, I'm sure, as the stream is going on. So it'll be Nolan and I breaking it down. Possibly going to get Cliffy on the show later this week. And then maybe later next week as well. Going to refresh this one more time. And then we're going to end up getting out of here. If you guys got anything for me, if I missed any trades, feel free to let me know. But really light night of NHL DFS. But lots of talking points for tomorrow. So we'll see how everything shakes out. Go use the Super Draft projections. If you are playing NBA over there tonight, go play on Yahoo Daily Fantasy. They have lower management fees. Use promo code Awesemo to get up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points. And I'm going to start getting an early jump on tomorrow's slate shortly after this. One more thing. Very important thing, actually, for some of you guys that have hung on here. So we're doing a giveaway right now. Here. Let me find the Awesemo Twitter account. We're doing a giveaway for a free month, a monthly pass. This is what we got. This is the tweet I'm looking for. Here you go. Like, rate, review, and subscribe to an Awesemo podcast. You have to leave a comment on the show with your username, and then you're automatically entered in to win. One winner will be selected. Very, very easy to enter this free Awesemo Plus monthly pass. That is a pretty good value for just a few seconds of your time. All you got to do is review, and then you will be entered in automatically. There you go. Don't see an option to rate and review. That's how you do it. Apple Podcasts probably the easy way to do this. Crazy to leave $1,800 on the table on a showdown? No, that's not crazy at all. I think that's encouraged. One game sample, anything can happen. Anything. So I think you should be like I might look to get off of the $50K in salary entirely, but making 70 lineups, maybe I shouldn't do that. You might still be able to get unique lineups with $50K. It's not like this is an NFL Sunday night or Monday night GPP with 200,000 entries or 100,000 entries. Like there's 2,000 in the DraftKings one, 3,000, something like that. So it's not too difficult. You might dupe with one person. That's not the end of the world if you end up winning, but I would like to have 0 dupes and win it by myself if I could. How many lineups out of 70 will you have a goalie in? Good question. I would say 20 to 30%. No, I would say higher than that. I would say it's closer to 50. I might end up just giving Hogberg a manual boost. I think that might be a decent play. Just because if Ottawa somehow wins this game, he's going to be in the winning lineup. There's just no doubt about it. Well, there's not no doubt, but very little doubt that he finds his way in the winning lineup. It's just a path to so many points. And it's really good leverage on the field. So, if that's all we got, go take part in this giveaway. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review, and that helps us out a ton. We're making a push to get you guys to listen over on podcasts. This show probably won't be on podcast too often, but once we get into MLB DFS season, then more people listen to podcasts over there. So if you plan on doing that, if you could toss us a review, put your username in the comments and your Awesemo username, not your DraftKings or FanDuel or Yahoo username. Put your Awesemo username in there, and you'll be entered to win. So I will see you guys back tomorrow for what should be a pretty lengthy show with Nolan and myself. We'll be breaking it down. Good luck tonight, and catch you in 24 hours.